Mike's Daily Podcast.
FF episode 1024. Hello, it is Mike Matthews broadcasting from Cafe Anyway, located somewhere in Podcastro Valley, Mont, at the last place on earth. Today, it's Do You Know Dat, where we'll look at some interesting news that shall inform you and entertain. Plus, we'll hear from Madame Rootabega, Valentino, Bison Bentley, and Dayley Hayley. We'll look at
Mike's Daily Podcast.
A bunch of craziness going on YouTube. You thought all was calm and serene on YouTube, didn't you?
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Well, here I am trying to write this song, and Haley is talking to me off mic, so I'm getting this wrong. What's irritating? You know, Haley, YouTube takes down songs that don't belong, like when it's a video of a first dance and they're dancing to Taylor Swift's Our Song.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
What was the Taylor Swift song they were dancing to, Haley? They were dancing to Style. Wow, that's crazy.
Mike's
The way Taylor
Daily
describes her men
Podcast.
and her songs is the way most rappers describe women in their songs. Turnabout! Oh, it's time to go to the Do You Know Dat segment.
It's Bison Bentley's Do You Know Dat?
Hey, this is Bison Bentley, and Mike Matthews has a couple of stories that'll make you want to ask yourself, do you know that? Do you know that? Do you know that?
Hold back the river, let me look in your eyes. Hold back the river so wide. Stop for a minute and be by your side.
Well, recently here in Fremont, in the early morning hours of May 21st of last year, the Alameda County Water District was the victim of an act of vandalism that destroyed district equipment and sent nearly 50 million gallons of needed water rushing down the Alameda Creek. Once again, don't forget, California is in a drought. And we were particularly in a drought back then when we had hardly any rain. A year ago, people forget that we had like no rain last year, basically. It rained a bunch in November, and then that was it, November of 2014. But the early part of 2015 was so dry. And now we've had rain, I think, every single month since November. We've had a lot of rain lately. But suspects entered a restricted area of Alameda Creek in the Niles area and intentionally damaged an inflatable dam by slashing it with a knife. Yes, here in the Bay Area we have inflatable dams, which I don't understand. An inflatable dam, don't understand. The dam is an essential facility used in the Alameda County Water District's operations to recharge the Niles Cone groundwater basin, one of the district's main water supplies, and it was to serve the residents and businesses of not only Fremont, but Newark and Union City. The lost water supply was sufficient to serve the needs of nearly 500 homes for 1 year. The value of the damage to the destroyed dam was approximately $1 million. Because it's an inflatable dam, it doesn't cost that much. Over the course of 6 months, detectives actively investigated the case. This according to What's Happening's Tri-City Voice. On July 1st of last year, detectives released enhanced images and a video captured by on-site surveillance to the public through the department's Nixle and social media accounts. Nixle. I gotta get on Nixle. I've been hearing a lot about Nixle lately. Following the release, several tips and leads came in from the public. As the investigation progressed, evidence was obtained, narrowing the focus to 4 suspects who live within close proximity to the crime scene. And so now we have Dylan Jeffrey, Drake Elkhurry, Gavin Pamon, and Zachary Morton, all between the ages of 19 and 21. On November 21st, 2015, they were arrested by the Fremont Detectives and Street Crimes Unit. All 4 were booked into the Fremont jail on felony vandalism. While arrests have been made, this incident remains under investigation, and people should contact Detective A. Siniceros about at fremont.gov if they have any more information. And you can also give tips via Nixle. On this date that blows my mind. The Yalta Conference happened. What's the Yalta Conference, Mike? It sounds boring. Yawning conference. No, the Yalta Conference, sometimes called the Crimea Convention and codenamed the Argonaut Conference, was held from this date to February 11th back in 1945. And it was the World War II meeting of the heads of government of the U.S., the United Kingdom, and the Soviet Union. That was, of course, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, Winston Churchill, and Joseph Stalin, respectively, for the purpose of discussing Europe's post-war reorganization. It took place near Yalta in the Crimea, at the Levadia Palace. The meeting was intended mainly to discuss the reestablishment of the nations of war-torn Europe. Within a few years, though, the Cold War divided the continent. Yalta became a subject of intense controversy. To some extent, it has remained controversial. Yalta was the second of 3 wartime conferences among the big 3. It had been preceded by the Tehran Conference in 1943 and followed by the Potsdam Conference in 1945, July of that year, which was attended by Stalin, Churchill, who was replaced halfway through by the newly elected British Prime Minister Clement Attlee, and Harry S. Truman, Roosevelt's successor. As we go outside of Cafe Anyway, we're bringing Mike's Daily Podcast somewhere in Podcastro Valley.
And here's today's podcast picture.
And the podcast picture is a really nifty little shot taken from the Fairmont Ridge that overlooks San Leandro on one side and Podcastro Valley on the other. And the sun was setting, and there was a bunch of clouds coming in over the bay. You see the bay, and on the other side of the bay is the peninsula. And of course, on the other side of the peninsula is the Pacific Ocean, which tends to get a lot of fog. And it gets overcast around Half Moon Bay and Pacifica. And those clouds kind of creep over the mountains there, and it's neat here in the Bay Area to check that out. When the sun gets over those mountains and shines on San Leandro and the Fairmont Ridge in Podcastro Valley. Anyway, all the convergence of all of those things is there in the podcast picture, which you can see now at mikesdailypodcast.com. Much like how the planets are converging. Or they were last week, where you were in the early morning hours, or just before dawn, you were supposedly able to see like a huge amount of planets all in the same part of the sky. But look who's visiting us here outside of Cafe Anyway, here in Podcastro Valley Mont. And this person is fuming.
The Dayley Hayley. The almost Dayley Hayley.
Hey! Welcome to the party! Oh, God.
Oh, my headphones are on backwards. What a good show.
Yeah, we're jamming today with our drum beat, man. And pump up the jam. Pump it up. Pump the...
Hey, Mr. DJ, put a record on. I wanna dance with my baby.
This was the beat for everything in the 90s.
Pretty much.
They were all the dance songs.
Almost.
Come on, Vogue. Dun, dun, dun. Get your body moved to the music.
But was it the background to Cher?
If you believe in life after love,
after love, after love,
I believe something inside me saying, I really don't think I'm strong enough now.
Do you
Believe in life after love. I can feel something. Let's What's another one from that song? Was maybe I didn't love you quite as often as I could. Baby, I didn't need you. Basically every Pet Shop song. Pet Shop Boys song.
Yeah, no, it's a lot of songs, honestly.
Thank you, Virtual Keyboard. We enjoyed playing with you today. I'm going to get rid of it now. It's gone. But look that up because you can have fun. We lost someone. We lost the man who is the...
I haven't had an opportunity to meet and talk with our next guest here. So would you tell us
They're
your
both
name,
dead now,
where
but...
you're from, sir? Harlow P. Whitcomb from Glens Falls, New York. Glens Falls, New York. New York.
Look how old he looks there. He lived another like 40 years.
That's great. Who is he?
Bob Elliott is Bob and Ray. They were a comedy team. They started off as DJs.
Oh.
And they would do these bits mostly like a guy talking to another guy.
Right.
And he's the father of Chris Elliott, who... Chris Elliott's been in a bunch of stuff. He was in Something About Mary with Ben Stiller.
I've definitely heard the name.
Hey, what does that stand for?
This is the type of comedy you have to like go, oh, I have to sit here and listen for a while, and then it gets funnier the more it goes.
This is almost exactly the shtick in the new Zootopia trailer for that Disney movie coming out.
Zootopia?
Have you not heard it?
No.
Heard of it?
No.
Yeah, it's the newest Disney movie that's being produced, and it's just a bunch of furries living together. Look up the Zootopia Sloth trailer.
Is that it?
Probably.
Coming through.
If you guys haven't seen this, it's really easy to find. If you've gone to a movie theater recently, if you saw Star Wars, you probably have seen this trailer. It's a sloth one.
In there. You can run the plate like that.
Yeah.
Wait.
I like the drum beat.
Sloths?
Like they're trying to run a license plate at the DMV, and it's just there's just a bunch of sloths.
Well, are you saying that because he's a sloth he can't be fast? Flash, 100-yard dash. Buddy, it's nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
See, but that's what's weird is that today's world is...
I am
Like, I'm just saying it is the exact same shtick.
Well, yeah, but what... So...
You know?
Why is that funny? Well, because society is so freaking sped up and I have to saturate myself with stimulation.
Uh-huh.
That something like a slow sloth...
Hoping you could run a plate for us. We are in a
Is funny.
really big hurry.
What's the plate
29 T
number?
29 THD03.
2 9.
Okay, I can't do this anymore. Is there something even funnier
There's
happening?
actually something funny.
D03.
D
03.
0.
3.
Hey, Flash, want to hear a joke?
No!
Sure.
What do you call?
That's weird. Bob and Ray.
And Ray.
Yeah, they also did stuff like when they were at a paperclip factory. They did a lot of stuff on the radio.
Welcome back to the Bob and Ray Show.
Valuable tips for you home handyman as we pay another of our regular visits to the basement workshop of Fred Falvey, the do-it-yourselfer. And Fred, I'm glad I found you at home today. When I saw all those rolled-up newspapers out in your front yard, I was afraid you might be away on vacation.
No, Ray. I rolled up all those papers and scattered them around the yard about a week ago as part of a do-it-yourself project I'm involved in.
Well, I can't imagine what it is, Fred, unless it has something to do with all the burglars you'll attract by creating the impression.
See, they'd be huge with podcasting today.
Oh, they would be.
We should do that.
So I was doing this and blah, 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 blah.
Well, I can't imagine why would you do a thing like that. I am the straight man. Wow, look how straight I am.
But I was like, very good water in my basement, blah, blah, blah.
Wonderful.
We'll be back with more of the Haley and Mike show
right after this.
Smoking cigarettes is really good for you. I'm smoking a cigarette now, and
He died.
You look so cool.
Hi, I'm John Hamm from TV shows Mad Men, and I'm doing commercials now for car people. I don't know why I brought that up. Just that
okay.
They're from that era. Mad Men. What? Oh, I said it out loud so I would not forget. I was like, I can't write this down because I'm driving. So I'll say this out loud and I won't forget so that I can tell Haley later.
YouTube stars are weird.
Thank you. What is the deal? See, I didn't say what's the deal. I said, what is the deal with those guys that are trying to sue people that are interviewing their parents?
No, you see, that is one example of what's going on in the YouTube world right now, and I'll get to that in a second. But I've actually figured out the root of all these YouTube star, internet star, weird scandal things. Celebrities, as we know them, are these people that surround themselves with a whole bunch of other people that deal with their whatever. So there's celebrity scandals all the time. There's celebrities say the wrong things in whatever setting, and all sorts of things happen. They have PR. They have people who are hired specifically for damage control. They have a elitist network of people they talk to where it's pretty much an unspoken rule that that kind of stuff doesn't get out. So your favorite celebrity or whatever could have opinions that are totally contrary to yours, and you'd never know. So it doesn't personally affect you unless it actually gets out to the public. YouTube stars, YouTube celebrities, everything that they say in a video, they have to be 100% personally accountable for. They have no HR. They have no concept. They have no HR, no PR, no concept of damage control. Nothing. And they end up being a bunch of self-entitled pricks because they say things and they garner a huge audience. I'm not saying all of them are. There's quite a lot of YouTubers that are... They really kind of get it. They understand the medium and that they can actually make a difference by saying things. But there's so many YouTubers that have built up their career and their followers just by almost like they started just saying super offensive stuff, and maybe they've toned down now, but that doesn't mean they didn't say offensive stuff, and like they'll still say offensive stuff. Or just they built up their followers just by being annoying and whatnot, and they've got this opinion of themselves that they're untouchable, and they're not, because they're still a human. And so when they go on to YouTube and they say whatever they want to, and people take personal offense to it, or realize that they're not the victim in whatever situation they're trying to promote themselves as the victim is, they're gonna pay for it.
Right.
Before I get to the quote-unquote big YouTube scandal of the last couple of days, there's this other YouTuber. I don't know how to pronounce his channel name. It's like Onion San or something. Unsenian.
Oh.
It's kind of weird.
I don't know.
He's been a YouTuber. Never seen any of his videos. I think maybe I've seen one. I didn't like his voice. Never really watched out and watched him. Never really knew his situation. I don't know how he got popular, but I know he's pretty popular. I know that he annoys a fair amount of people, which is kind of par for the course if you're a big YouTuber. Let's just be honest. He got married while he was a YouTube. This is a crazy situation I'm about to lead you through, by the way. I'm just going to warn you before I get into this.
I'm putting my seatbelt on now.
So he got married to this woman while being a YouTube star, and that was fine. They were happy together, good relationship. everything was all right. Turns out this woman, one of her sort of secrets that she had was that she was bisexual and she was open to polyamory.
More than one lover in both situations.
Which isn't necessarily a bad thing, and she was very respectful about it. She opened up to her husband, who's the YouTuber, about it. And apparently her husband was like, that's fine, and actually encouraged her to like get a girlfriend. And so in this relationship, there was the 2 married people and the 1 girlfriend. This YouTuber started getting really close to the girlfriend. Right? To the point of where the wife was like, I am uncomfortable with this situation.
Okay.
And he, the YouTuber, started basically blowing his wife off. And it got uncomfortably weird.
Yeah.
And it's unclear if he actually cheated on his wife with his wife's girlfriend.
Right.
But his wife left.
Okay.
And so this guy is like, oh no, my wife left. I'm going to try to get with this girlfriend. The girlfriend is there because she's a girlfriend.
To the other girl.
To the wife.
To the wife.
So she's like, no. And so then the guy, as soon as he realizes that he's not going to be able to get with this girlfriend, he's like, oh baby, come back, I did wrong. Oh no.
Oh my gosh.
And then the wife is like, no, I'm not coming back, you're a douche.
Yeah.
And so then he goes and he makes a video explaining the situation, because YouTubers' lives have to be completely public in every single way, because they have no concept of PR and they have no concept of damage control, as I said previously. And he plays the victim card on this because his wife left him, when all of this crazy situation is because he's a douche.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's an extreme situation, obviously.
So no boundaries, and he
There's no boundaries. There's
like
no,
on
yeah.
YouTube,
no one tells them what to say. No one tells them how to word it.
So he just says it.
So they just say it.
Wow.
And it's that kind of a thing that
and
separates celebrities from YouTube stars, and makes it so much of a fascinating world for gossip.
And I've heard of these stories before. I knew someone who was a girl who got married, but the husband realized that she was bisexual and liked women. Then he flipped out, I guess divorced her, and she ended up with a woman. So she's I don't know if she's still with the woman. This was years ago.
I heard about a guy who was married to a girl, and then they had like a kid, but then the girl realized that she was gay, and then she married a woman. Divorced him and married a woman, and then he was like sad for all of his life. And that was my friend's reference to Ross. The worst character on television.
Oh, that's right. But we were on a break. Why are you doing that?
Oh, he's another dude.
Oh, you did the claps because of the Rembrandt song.
Yeah.
Your love life's DOA or whatever.
I'll be there for you. Anyway.
And I still can't remember what I was going to tell you when I was in the car. Shoot.
So we'll move on to the big YouTube sort of.
Yeah, continue on to the thing you were telling me about earlier.
So the company is these 2 guys. They're called Fine Bros Entertainment, which is their name they came up with because they started a bunch of different YouTube channels with various things. And their big thing is the reaction videos. They've gotten fairly popular. It's, kids react, elders react, whoever reacts. They pick a bunch of people and they stick them in front of a computer and they'll show them viral videos or various things like that. And then they'll just say some words like, oh, wow, I can't believe that cat is so dumb. Stuff like that.
Or they'll show like the Nicki Minaj, the Anaconda video
and
with lots of butts.
And the elders would be like, oh no!
I can't believe... I saw one, like an Italian New Yorker type person going, I've never saw her anything like this before. I can't believe she's got to put that away.
Yeah.
What the...
Exactly. I mean, there's really no point to those videos. Like, really...
But 1 million people watched it, went viral. Everybody at the workplace is showing everybody else.
They had at their peak 14 million viewers. I'll get to that why they still don't have 14 million viewers. So they had to have been approached by a corporation of some kind. Someone who said, hey, you guys can make so much money off of this. Because end of January, they posted a video. Is labeled like React World Entertainment Announcement. And they said, hey guys.
Oh God, I hate when they start off with that.
I mean, they didn't go with that inflection, but they did say, hey guys.
Typically.
And they started talking about this brilliant idea that they came up with called React World. It was a licensing program for anything that they said was quote-unquote their format, that other people could use quote-unquote their format, and they'd get a cut of the profits of other people's original videos.
Jeez.
So the initial problem was that is they didn't define what their format was at all. It could be anyone reacting to anything. They started trying to copyright different phrases. You know, names of their shows, which I guess is sort of understandable. It was stuff like they had a show called Try Not to Laugh. And so they tried to copyright Try Not to Laugh. With that is fine. But then they go and they try to copyright things like the word react. Everyone reacts.
Right. That's what we do. We're humans.
And so obviously, like, almost every other large YouTuber made a react video to their Reaction World thing. And it was like, they just were talking about everything that was wrong with that. It was brutal, honestly, you know.
Should I look it up?
YouTube, don't, because you're going to have to bleep out most of the one that I saw anyway.
I don't want to bleep things. It takes forever.
And... not saying that he was really angry. The guy just sort of a shtick is he says pretty absurd things, and he uses very outlandish metaphors and such in his speaking. And most of them do involve swears. But he's actually quite intelligent in the things that he was saying and the points he was making in his video.
To the idiot guys.
To the idiot, yeah. And so the announcement video got removed. And
yeah, it did.
Basically,
they totally took it off.
They took the announcement video off. They replaced it with another video just labeled "Update."
Wow.
And I haven't personally seen this video, but I was watching one of the react videos to this video as well. It was sort of like a news-related YouTube channel that was giving me a rundown on it. And many of the reactions to that video that was called "Update" it was not an apology. It was not a clarification. It was them sitting down on a couch looking disgruntled, basically saying, why don't you idiots get this?
No!
Yeah. So that was their initial response.
Oh my gosh.
And I'll be honest, I'm a day behind on the news. Because I woke up late today and I didn't get to see what was going on.
You got a ride from your dad today, which is nice, and you listened to Space Age. Oh, that's the other wrong. Flock of Seagulls.
I listened to Flock of Seagulls.
I ran
so far away. But it's sort of a weird standstill right now on YouTube. People hate React World. They hate that concept. The Fine Brothers are losing followers in the thousands. They had over 14 million subscribers. And they're reaching 13 million now.
Yay.
They're going down significantly.
Everyone should boycott them.
People are waiting to see if they're actually going to exploit YouTube's copyright system, which is highly exploitable, to take down these reaction videos to their initial video. Because they probably could. That's kind of how broken YouTube is. So it's a weird standstill between they're not going to back down because they're idiots. Like I said in the beginning of me talking about this, it has to be, I don't know why they would be pushing this, and they keep pushing it. They keep trying to say, no, this is a good thing because it's going to make us lots of money.
Yeah. What jerks?
And in their initial video, it was so painful to watch because they're talking about it's going to be the future of entertainment, and all of their videos have reached so many people and changing the world, which it hasn't.
Yeah.
You know, it's a bunch of people saying things about a video. I do that on a daily basis.
Yeah. Is this like trying to, like that other guy that was doing talking about games? Is the way, and now he's making a channel. Is it like YouTube, and he started off as a YouTube video, or is that?
Oh, are you talking about PewDiePie?
Yeah.
Okay, it is a separate thing.
But I mean, it's sort of like these YouTube people feel empowered, so now they're going to try and take that next step and,
yes.
and monetize.
Yeah, but they have no concept. They already have it monetized. YouTube, for people with a lot of followers and subscribers,
sure,
YouTube is a profitable business.
Right.
There are numerous people that live off of their YouTube
That's insane.
Yeah, no, there's a huge amount. There's people that live off their YouTube channels. There's people that live off of their Twitch channels.
Oh, by the way, I owe you lunch because we've made $13 off Amazon.
Yay!
So let's go to lunch.
Yeah.
And it's on me, and we'll go someplace nice.
So, I mean, I looked up the stats, and I didn't quite know how to read the stats, honestly. But the Fine brothers are not living in poverty. Let's put it that way. The Fine brothers are making money.
That's crazy.
Significant amounts. Probably more than we do. For content that isn't necessarily theirs.
Right.
They use viral videos that aren't theirs. They use people that aren't them.
Right.
And they just put it all together, put it on the internet, and get a huge amount of views and a lot of money through ad revenue. YouTube Red revenue and ad revenue.
Yeah.
Combined. And
leeches.
And now they're trying to expand that more to basically monopolize a corner of quote-unquote their format in the market, which, since they haven't defined it, could be anything from people using their logo, which obviously they should go against them if they're using their logo.
That's not theirs.
To, as was pointed out in the initial video that I watched, grandma filming their child reacting to a birthday cake or something, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, it's completely outrageous.
And that's the beauty of YouTube, is so much of it is there are a lot of laws skirted so that cool things can happen, like that cool New York guy that you showed me that was ripping apart that horrible Half Moon Bay video about the birds.
Yes, yeah.
See, if like that bird movie idiots.
It's called Birdemic, Shock and Terror. He is referring to the JonTron video. JonTron's another YouTuber who specializes in reviewing different games and a couple movies and stuff. He also makes his money on YouTube.
He's hilarious.
He's pretty funny.
And if the people that made the movie came after him and said, you got to take those parts of the movie off, then it would ruin the whole cool thing he's doing.
But his presentation is fair use. And that's another reason that people are sort of in this standstill with all these reaction videos to their announcement video, is because every single one of their videos is fair use. But YouTube's copyright system can be exploited.
Oh.
And if Fine Brothers goes through and requests all those to be taken down, probably a lot of them would. So that's, another aspect to this tricky situation. Because if they do that, it's like, if they leave all the reaction videos up, they're going to continue to lose followers. If they don't cancel React World, they're probably going to continue to lose followers. If they take down all the videos, that still means that the people that made those videos, they know they have a point. They're proving the points that they're making, and they're going to lose a bunch of followers. So they have no damage control. Again, they don't know what to do, because it's just these two guys. These two guys that are not good at comedy, by the way.
Whereas we are. We are hilarious. We're a new Bob and Ray is what we are.
In response to this controversy, an old video surfaced that was their early attempts at YouTube comedy. And it was a sketch featuring them and some other people. It was a It was like a scene type thing, and it was filmed in different locations. It was a full-blown little sketch. It was so bad.
No.
It was so bad, I wanted to shoot my computer.
Did you pick up a gun and threaten your computer?
I wanted to.
Did you say, stop this computer with your, I'm going to blow your computer head off?
No, it was, they're not good at comedy. They're not good at making YouTube videos themselves, so they've taken this format that they haven't defined, and they've been making money off of filming other people and using other people's videos, and now they want to continue to monopolize that in a larger setting. So that's what it is. That's what's happening on YouTube right now. People are being like, boycott the Fine Brothers, unsubscribe, and it's working. They've nearly lost 1 million viewers, and we're just gonna have to see how it plays out.
Haley watches the YouTube so that you don't have to.
It's true. I'm big into the YouTube stuff, so whoops.
Haley, I'm glad you pointed out all this stuff, because these people irritate. You know how I feel about YouTubers that go, hey guys, and all that. So
yeah, well, often the people that are like, hey guys, are really nice.
That's true.
A fair amount of YouTubers have got their stuff together.
Yeah.
It's refreshing to see, honestly. I still think YouTube's a really cool concept. I think the vlogging situation, and that's different from the Fine Brothers. That's back to Onion Son or whatever. He's a video vlogger.
But you're not.
But I think those vlogger people, they have something good. It's disappointing to see that they can blow it so easily, but at the same time, they have to be accountable for what they say, and they have to realize that they got to change their ways to be a quote-unquote popular person putting everything out in today's culture. You can't be racist, you can't be homophobic, you can't be offensive, you can't cheat on your wife. Don't cheat on your wife. Because people don't respect that. You need respect to be a vlogger, and that's, people build up respect and trust because it's a one-on-one thing. Like radio DJs accidentally build up respect and trust with their listeners.
I have just now remembered what it was I was going to talk to you about. Do you remember yesterday when we were in the other room at the radio station that plays the Christian programming, and they were talking? I'm going to get to this at some point. The guy goes, he's preaching. It was a preacher, and he's saying, hey, guys that are married, don't ever have lunch with a girl that's not your wife.
That's not your wife.
Call your wife and tell her, let her know if you're going to have lunch with a girl, and explain why. It had better be some business-related thing and have nothing else to do with anything. He goes, all the marriages that I've consulted that have fallen apart, it's somebody having lunch with somebody of the opposite sex or whatever, and they hit it off.
Weaklings.
So that means, that's what I was going to bring up. Haley, half the population of the earth is,
one
female
sex
or male.
the other.
Yeah, basically.
Or somewhere in between.
Right.
Yeah.
And that means at some point, if I am a male, I will have lunch with a female or something. That's the mix of the world.
Yeah.
How do you avoid? You can't avoid that. That's like living in a cave, which a lot of, unfortunately,
That's why you gotta call your wife.
That's what the cell phone is for. So anyway, I thought that was hilarious when we saw that yesterday. And speaking of YouTube, when I first got on YouTube, I did videos of me talking about the podcast. I called it the Mike's Daily Post Podcast. And I would sit on the couch with Basil and talk to the camera and go, hey, on today's podcast, I mentioned this, this, and this. Well, I just looked up and I'm wrong. And I need to correct myself. It was like my fact checking after doing the show. And I have my horrible goatee, which, by the way, I'm never growing my goatee back.
I don't blame you.
Thank you, because my goatee it didn't have a nice shape. Even when I tried to shape it, it was ugly and a horrible bird's nest on my face.
I mean, it looked all right, but you look better without it.
Thank you. I'm just going to have to deal with no facial hair or hair at all. But your facial hair looks quite nice.
No, I don't have facial hair. Shut up.
Oh. That's just a shadow that was
It's
across
a shadow
your face.
of my former self.
We're in the darkness outside of cafe anyway. Anywho, whatever facial hair you may or may not have, I hope you have a great weekend. To the listener. Oh wait, it's not the weekend yet. But you're gonna have a week. I'm not gonna see you on the next show.
Yeah, I won't see you till probably Monday.
That sounds good.
Okay.
Thanks for filling us all in about YouTube.
Whatnot and all that stuff.
All right, we're doing a post-podcast podcast.
Are we doing a post-podcast
All right,
podcast?
I thought of 2 other things.
Oh, God damn it.
Okay, I hate jump cuts on YouTube, and you like them.
I like jump cuts on YouTube. It's a way that people can get their information in a more condensed setting. Obviously, people that watch YouTube generally have shorter attention spans, and I'm not saying that necessarily the jump cuts can aid in people paying more attention to it. I'm not going to degrade their audiences in that way, because as much as intelligent and thoughtful as these people that are making these videos tend to be, in some situations, their audiences can match that intelligence. I'm not saying they can't, but it's a way that people can cut down on their production time. It's a way that people can make it a little bit more snappy, the entire video more snappy, faster, shorter. They can get in more information. They don't keep drolling on. You know, if I talk to you about something at length,
right? Jump cut.
Yeah. But it snaps back and forth, helps them helps people focus and get back onto the topic.
Yeah,
you know?
I guess it's a generational thing.
Yeah,
because the younger you are, the less you notice jump cuts.
Yeah,
but me, I'm older, but also I've been in media for a long time, so I notice jump cuts, and I'm like, oh wow, back in the old days, we used to do a dissolve. We would do a slow fade, and now it's all.
Yes.
And I mean, we do that in radio. We edit the crap out of it because it's so easy.
Yeah.
And in video, it's more noticeable when you do a jump cut. You wouldn't, like in movies, they very seldom used to do jump cuts, but now they're starting to do it more and more and more.
Well, the movie equivalent to a YouTuber using jump cuts would be a back and forth camera angle between 2 people in a conversation.
Right.
It's very similar to that, except it's one-sided. It's someone moving from topic to topic.
Yeah.
They can put in more content as well, because they can make a point and then go off on a small tangent involving that point, and then the jump cut will put them back on focus, and it'll put the listener back on focus. It will remind them of why they're there to listen to the video. So it's actually a good thing, in my opinion.
All right, and now I also despise when I'm at a concert and the guitarist on stage or whatever is sitting there going, all right, guys, for my next song.
So I'm about to play the song. See,
and you like that.
Yeah. People go to concerts because they want to see the person performing. People go to concerts because generally, because they like the songs and they want to see this person perform them. So when the person performing the song says, this is the song I'm about to play, 1, you know what song they're about to play.
Yeah.
2, you get to hear the person that you came to see talk about the song. And 3, you just get to know more information about the song. And that's a fun thing. You know, I don't have to spend as much time on Wikipedia when people talk about their own songs.
I guess that's cool because you're like, they're talking to me.
And in your generation, it was like, you know, progressive rock intros for 20 minutes, and then one identifying note, and all the elitists in the crowd would go, yeah, I know what song it is! Woo, I'm the best!
Oh, that was cool.
Yeah, which kind of annoys me, because it exiles people that don't necessarily know the band as well as the other people.
Oh.
Whenever I'm at a concert and they play something and the half of the audience starts cheering, I'm like, God darn it, well, I should know this.
Right.
It annoys me. It really does.
Everybody's cheering and you're like, why are you cheering? I don't know this song yet.
I don't want to be out of the loop. I don't want to. I feel like it's some giant inside joke and it's just not fun.
We should, wait, say that again, British. It's just not